Are you ready? Have you been jazzercising?
Are we live? I think we're live. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Dave. Can you hear me? You're muted.
Maybe if I unmuted it, you could hear me.
I can hear you a lot better now. I can hear you a lot better. So that video was enjoyable and scarring at the same time. So
then I've accomplished what I was going for.
Very good. Very good. Well, I see that people have joined us again. After the punishment we put them through last week, they're still back. So, and the comment board is already going wild. So, David, what have you been doing this week?
Well, let's see. It was one of those ministry weeks that just didn't want to stop. You ever have a week where you're very productive, but not in the ways that you want to be?
Oh, yes. I get that a lot. I
was like, accomplished a lot, but not what I wanted to accomplish. So that's kind of how I was at. Oh, how about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I had like yesterday, I had to go run out and take care of something on a job site when I was supposed to be doing job quotes. And instead, I'm doing something else that should have already been done. So one of those things, just slips through the cracks, and it is what it is. Happens sometimes when you're running multiple jobs, but yeah, it's goes with the territory, I guess. But yeah, it's interesting because last Saturday, did you know last Saturday that there was some protests going on around the country? Protesting. The act of protesting is, pretty much in my mind, is when you go out there for hours, standing in the sun, holding a sign, accomplishing absolutely nothing, but feeling good about yourself doing it.
I was too busy being productive, having a family, making sure I'm showered, and contributing to the greater American nation. So
was I. One of the things I had to do in order to be productive last Saturday was I had to go to the grocery store. So I went there, and there's a local plaza I went to, and I was like, oh, there's some of these protesters here. As you know what city we live in, that we have a population now of almost 100,000 people in our city. And out of that 100,000 people, less than 0.001% showed up to this protest, but,
wow.
Less than 100 people. And I was like, what's this going on? I've heard about this, they're going around the country. And so when I drove by, I took a picture, and let me see if I can pop it up.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I'm trying to pop it up. It says it's up. So where is it? Let me try.
There it is.
I was shocked. But this is what the protest was about.
No more Burger Kings?
Yeah, no more Burger Kings. Apparently, this is what all the hoop was about. Everyone's mad at this guy.
Wow.
So, have you seen this guy recently?
Isn't an orange man bad? Is that what that is?
He used to be in all the commercials, but I actually read something about this guy recently that they don't have him in Burger King commercials anymore because he was the kids were scared of him, which I can't imagine that. But
are you saying the plastic creepy character hurts sales?
I guess so. I mean, it's probably why this guy's never seen anymore either.
Well, Stephen King destroyed clowns.
What's funny? When I found this picture of Ronald McDonald, and I remember Hamburglar and Grimace and the girl, I can't remember her name, but I forgot about the little pom-pom people. I forgot. I don't know, when you were a kid, did you remember these from the commercials?
Oh, so the McDonald's in my town actually had like a play place with statuary of them.
Okay, all right. Because when I was a kid, every McDonald's commercial had all these figures, right?
Yeah.
So and every McDonald's, and I was thinking about this actually today. I'm like, you know what? How many McDonald's today actually have playgrounds anymore? They used to all have playgrounds,
Oh
but
man,
none of them around here have playgrounds.
no way.
And so it used to be you had outdoor seating, playgrounds, all that stuff, and the commercials were all about the kids, so the kids would harass their parents until they took them to McDonald's, but very family friendly. So I have a lot of fond memories about McDonald's and Burger King, particularly Burger King, because we used to go to Burger King. Not this guy. I don't have fond memories of him, but Burger King, where you can see there the poster in the middle where there's a Burger King on fire. Actually, our Burger Kings weren't on fire, but as a kid, I grew up. I was born in Pennsylvania and lived there for 11 years. So after every Sunday, after church on Sunday, we would go to Burger King down the street and have lunch. So it was, and back then you had the trumpet elevator music that they would play while you're eating. That's something else I realized you don't really hear that in fast food restaurants, at least in the Burger Kings around here anymore. And they had the ceiling fans. They had ceiling fans in there, and they were like going really slow. They turn, and you had so you had the type of music where you could take any music of the day and just remix it with just a trumpet doing the whole thing with some background orchestra or whatever. So that's what we enjoyed. And then coming up when we moved to New Hampshire when I was 11, the night before we actually moved, we ate at that Burger King for one last time. So it was very nostalgic, very emotional time.
Emotional Burger King.
Yes. And then when we moved to New Hampshire, we would go to, there was a Burger King in a little town called Lakeport, New Hampshire, and it was on the water. And they had boat docks and everything. People would come up on boats. Yeah, and so we would eat there on Saturday night. We'd go there as a family and eat and get our food, chicken tenders and stuff like that. I'd get chicken tenders with the barbecue sauce and the onion rings, and we would then after we would eat, we'd usually go down to the boat areas. And one of the things that we liked as kids, especially, is the benches. The Burger King benches, the hard plastic benches. I would never find this funny as an adult, and I was never do anything like this. But as a kid, you let out some gas and it'd be really loud on that bench because it would like amplify it. It was like a big amplifier. So, as an adult, I'm a mature adult. I would never do that as a mature adult, of course. But as a kid, it was very fun. So, but yeah, we had great time. So I don't understand what the problem is with these guys with Burger King. Except for he's got that funny mustache too. It's weird looking, actually. It's like
it's like a pencil on mustache.
Yeah, I think that's fake. I'm pretty sure that's fake.
That could be right. I'm not sure.
I don't think his color's natural either. I think that's fake too.
They were doing like these studies about restaurants in the 80s and 90s, and you will always know when it was a Pizza Hut.
Oh yeah.
Pizza Huts always look like Pizza Huts. In not too far from where I live in town, there's an old Wendy's, because you remember the Wendy's had the solarium on the front?
Yeah.
The glass room in the front of the Wendy's. Yeah, one of those is like 5 minutes away from me. It's right next to a car dealership. And I can remember eating many a hamburger in the solarium on like the hard plastic that looks like it's soft back in the day.
It's like every fast food restaurant had their unique look to it.
Yeah.
Even one point Burger King was trying to give McDonald's a run for their money by doing their own kid play areas, but they were indoors and they were actually cooler in some ways. But McDonald's always had that stuff. And then Wendy's, like you said, now you say that, I'd forgotten about that, the solarium stuff. It's like when you go back, and Wendy's had their famous for their square hamburgers.
Yeah. Do they do that anymore?
They probably do, but that like they featured that in their commercials. You used to have the McDonald's commercials, Burger King, Wendy's, because they're three main competitors of the day. Now you have a million fast food places, but back then when I was a kid, that's all you had. Of course, back then we only had like 12 TV channels to watch too. Now you have like thousands. So there's more available, through the media too to see. But yeah, it's really. I think it's a shame that they've kind of just, took away their individuality, with all that.
Let me spitball with you for a second. If we got, say, a waffle iron and laid out some 80-20 ground beef on it and closed it, do you think we could make our own square patties at home?
Probably could, yeah. Probably could. And they probably taste better than Wendy's.
And it might have some, the holes in them. They could be like, where the sauce and the flavor just sits, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound gross at all. See, look, I'm getting a let's do it. Because,
it's funny though, because like McDonald's, their signature dollar hot fudge sundaes, right? You remember those?
Yeah.
And the fudge was actually hot. It wasn't, it was done right. And then Burger King was their onion rings, because neither of the, it's like McDonald's had something Burger King and Wendy's didn't have. And then Burger King has something that those two don't have. And then Wendy's was the Frosties.
Yeah. So did you dip the fries? Did you dip the fry?
I have been known to do that. But yeah, it's like the Frosty. It was like if I got to get a Frosty, I was always eating my hamburger as fast as I could so I could get to the Frosty before it started melting. So, because I love that, once it gets too melted, then it's just a milkshake. So
yeah,
I wanted to spoon that Frosty out and not drink it with a straw.
Ken, you're not getting paid to advertise all this stuff.
I'll tell you. I'll be evening it out. I wouldn't recommend Wendy's.
Now that we complimented them, let me tell you, don't eat there now.
So that evens it out. So there's no free advertising going on.
Yeah. Let me make sure we wrap it up in an insult.
So speaking of pictures, we're going to switch gears here.
Yeah.
And, as we all know, we're in the Halloween season.
Okay.
And some of the interesting Halloween costumes I've come across. I thought this is a cool one.
Okay. Yeah. Is that a greyhound?
That's a greyhound with a AT-AT Walker suit on from Star Wars.
You know what? I'm here for that. That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, I like that. Another one, Star Wars.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? That dog is not happy, but I'm in. Yes.
The dog's real. Everything else is fake, but that's okay. That's good. Han Solo looks just like him.
Okay. Yeah. That, you know what? Once again, I'm with that one.
Actually, this would be what Disney would do now to pass off as Han Solo.
Oh, well.
Here you go. Use your imagination. So.
Probably.
Princess Leia.
Yeah.
The eyes actually look like hers, which is weird. But nothing else does, but the eyes kind of do, I think.
What are the prices of these? Do you know how much all things cost?
I don't know what these things cost. And that's kind of a, we'll just fit this dog in here. Close enough.
What are their names? They're stealing R2 and you're
R2D2 there, buddy.
Well, what are those guys that are stealing him called again? That are picking up R2 walking away?
Oh, the Sand People?
Yeah, the Sand People.
Or the what are they called? Someone's gonna have to let us know because I can't remember. It's not Sand People. It was the other little guys.
Oh, of course, the Shiba Inu in the Darth Vader.
That's the reverse Disney version of that today.
Wow.
This is a little more fitting for Darth. Oh, Jawas. It's Jawas.
Jawas. Thank you.
No New England Prep 96. It's not Ewoks.
Thank you. Listening Post 9.
And then this is I like this Darth Vader. It's a good one.
Nice.
I'm jealous of the hair too.
All these are fancy breeds. Nah.
These are probably fancy costumes, though. You never, back depending on when they came out. Nowadays, you can buy an elaborate costume. It's not bad. Back in my day, a costume of Darth Vader was like a mask with this cheap plastic face on you, and that's it. What do we got next year?
Nice.
So 2 other ones that I found.
Nice.
That's original.
Wow.
That definitely homemade that thing.
Wow.
Another one like that.
How many of these?
Now watch this.
The toilet humor.
Same guy with no pants.
That's even creepier.
It's like, wait a second. Is this the same? Like, is the guy has a plastic? Like the guy wearing it has a plastic head? That's what it looks like. I mean, where's the real guy?
I agree. Why are there so many?
Homemade.
Nice. You know what? The homemade ones get more points than the guy who bought the done one.
Oh yeah, definitely. Here's some Kid Nightmare ones.
That's somebody's gonna call CPS.
And that's definitely homemade.
Yeah. Whoa.
I was just watching something about clowns tonight. I'm like, yeah, this fits the bill right here.
That's
Beetlejuice.
More and more nightmare fuel. Yeah. Wow.
Now here's that kid made that himself.
Okay, you know what? Good for him. Yep. You got a box. Kids love boxes. That's
box in a paper bag. It's all you need.
Yeah. I mean, have you seen the costumes of Halloween from like the 80s, from like the early 20th century? Like parents would go all out to make their kids scary back in the day.
This has got to be.
That's the 1980s, 1970s right there.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, there you go.
No.
And that with a cute one there.
I mean, the kid is cute, but anyway, we've already hated on brands already.
Either, but personally,
it's
don't
more
like Starbucks.
It's more like $8, right?
Yeah, I think the coffee's too bitter. I don't like their coffee.
I wish I liked the bean juice. Well, I actually have something for you, Ken, that I've been working on. Speaking of the coming up holiday. So this is a tier tree right here.
Nice.
So S tier is for, I'm going to look over here because this is my screen. S tier is for superior. A tier is for great. B tier is, I'll make sure to eat these, or I'm willing to trade them. Last gone means these are ones that you will eat, but they're not your first overall pick. And the ones that are like Necco wafers, where it's like, hey, I'm gonna give it to my little brother, and then F tier is of course garbage. So I found this list. I wanted you to go through it with me and to tell me what candy you think does belong somewhere. Now I have to let's start right away with one of the best candies you can get for let's start with a good candy, okay? Let's start with a really good candy. We're going to start with Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. If you could get these at Halloween, what would they be?
That's going up to the top.
Oh, wow. Straight away, S tier candy. Okay. You know what? I mentioned them by name. These taste like nothing to me, but they're colored. Where would you put a good old Necco wafer?
Down at the bottom.
Give to your brother or trash?
Give to my brother. Give to my brother because I'm just going to swap his candy without him seeing it.
Oh, okay.
Which I've never really done.
So we've all been to this house. I'm going to say this is big candy. This is so for me growing up, we'd go to the funeral home and they'd only give out king size candy. So this is a king size Three Musketeers, but ignore the Three Musketeers. It's a king size candy. Where does that go on your list?
I'm going to put that on A.
A?
I like Three Musketeers.
We would go so it was a funeral home on Highland Avenue around the corner from us. and we would walk there, and this funeral home always gave out king-size candies, and this is like in the 90s. So good stuff. This is the house you don't want to go to, or you didn't know, maybe they're your new neighbors, and they give you a toothbrush. What?
I'll put it in the trash. I probably shouldn't put it in the trash because eating all that candy, I'd want it, but you never know. It might be used toothbrush. So.
Oh yeah. They're probably the new neighbors. You know what? I couldn't find. I wish it was on here. What do you do at the house that gives you a handful of change? Where would they go? You like go there and they're throwing like nickels in your bag or your pillowcase.
It depends on what age you are, because if I'm like 4 years old, nickels sounds like a lot of money. 51 years old, no. I'd probably put that. What's that one? Last one?
There's trash. There's give to your little brother. There's last gone, meaning you'll keep it, but you're not using it right away.
Yeah, I'll put it on that.
Okay, so I don't have that one on this list right now. So okay, you'd put the handful of change in B tier. All right. So these are like the best thing you get at restaurants. This is like the Olive Garden special, the good old Andy mints.
Yeah, I like those. I'm going to put them on A because the top one is very special. Only certain ones get to make it to the top in my book.
Yeah. All right. So you have to put yourself in the mind of, 8 to 10-year-old you, and you just get the ring pop.
B.
Really? Okay. Just because those weren't your jam or something?
Yeah, I'll take it. It's not if I was on a deserted island somewhere, I'd be like, yeah, that's cool. But I wouldn't throw it out. I'd keep it, but I'd keep it down at B.
Okay, so we're not getting. I don't think anyone. There's no controversy with our choices yet. Okay. Here's one. We gave away pretzels one year and pencils, and our vehicle got egged.
Okay, well, let me clarify, because we know who that is. There's no we in that. I had nothing to do with that. Just disclaimer. We stuff. What's this we stuff?
All right, here's the next one. You go to the house. It's wrapped up right. Your mom and dad will approve the way it's wrapped, but they gave you an apple.
An apple? That's the thing that gets thrown back at them when they're not looking.
So that's F tier trash then, huh?
Yeah. For Halloween, absolutely.
Oh, thank you for this health food.
On Halloween. Thank you so much. There's probably a razor blade in the middle of it.
Well, let's not go there. Okay, let's go to the one that is controversial these days. Like my wife and I disagree on these.
Top.
Candy corn.
All the way up, my friend.
What?
I love those things.
They're
I love those things.
It tastes like wax.
It is wax, but it tastes good.
Yes, Ken. Yuck. That's
definitely a controversial one.
No, not a fan of the candy corn. Blech. They're so good. No.
It's crazy. There's no like middle ground. It's like either you love it or you hate it. It's like circus peanuts. I don't see that on here.
I don't think we have. We got some old people candy. Don't worry. There's a lot of old. It would probably old people candy, no problem. But no, not a fan. Mm-mm.
The funny thing is, circus peanuts are actually marshmallow based, and I hate marshmallow, but for some reason I like those. So weird.
Really? I can't think of the last time I had one of those. All right, so let's go to another candy that I think is disgusting. Raisinets, chocolate covered raisins.
Nope, I don't like them. Throw them out.
Throw them out. You don't even give those to your brother. You love your brother.
They get thrown. The only way they get The only way they get to my brother is if I'm trading his bag without his knowledge, and I'm swapping that for one of his.
Man, I hope he's not watching right now. See, those are gross. Toss them. I love Raisinets.
That figures.
All right, let's move away from a controversy. We're gonna go straight to old people candy. You get this in your bag. These rock hard strawberry shaped treats that like your grandma had in a jar forever. These guys right here.
Your teeth too,
and they break your teeth.
Yeah, I'm gonna give those to my brother. One of them.
Okay, we got to move away from the joke candy. Let's do one that might be good. Sour Patch Kids.
I'll put them in A.
Really?
I'll put them in A. Now, I do like Sour Patch Kids.
Do you just like the sour candy, or is it just those are just actually pretty good?
I like the sour candy like that. I just, I mean, those are the chewable ones. So I don't like hard candy just because, it gets, I mean, I don't like the hard candy you got to pop in your mouth and wait for it to melt and then get stuck to your teeth. I hate those things. So, but no, those I like pretty well.
Okay, so these ones are not controversial. What they are is they're very soundy. The Harbos. Yeah, you eat those and you're going to be gassy. That's for sure. They're famous for being the gassy gummy treat.
I've never had those. Gummies, I'm going to put those in B.
Those better not be A. Is what. Pop Rocks. Oh, we'll get there. Pop Rocks, we'll get there. So you're saying B? You know what? You're gonna have to pick up a bag of them next time you're out and see if they really do make the soundy treat that they allegedly are. All right, let's do one that's good again. York peppermint patties.
I'm doing A on York.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're better frozen. You put them in the fridge overnight or the freezer. Those are really good.
I've never had them frozen.
Yeah, if you get some next time, or if you somehow acquire Halloween candy this next week, throw a few of those in the freezer. That's good stuff. All right, let's do another one. This one might be popular amongst the younger kids in our chat. How about Airheads?
Airheads. Those are which ones are those?
You just they're kind of like they're sourish. They're kind of like a fruit roll up. I'm gonna get killed in the chat. But yeah, they're pretty good. They have those artificial fruit flavors, like watermelon tastes fake, and they all taste like that.
I'm giving those to my brother.
You're gonna give those to your brother? Yeah. We got Airheads are trash.
I'm not big on the gum. Yeah.
All right, so let's go to a candy you might have had, Let's do another old people candy to knock it out. Werther's Original.
Werther's. I'm conflicted because they have the caramel in them. Right?
Yeah, that's what they are.
I'm going to put those in B only because I hate it when they get stuck to my teeth, but I like the way they taste. So that's a B.
You're not getting those out first like the candy corn, but those will be for you. You're not sharing those.
No, I'm not sharing them.
We'll do a couple more here. Okay, let's do one that's good. Twix. Where are we putting Twix?
Twix is A.
We only got 2 S tiers, Reese's and candy corn. I totally agree. Twix is definitely an A. All right, let's do another good one. Snickers.
Snickers. That's going to be a B.
Really?
Yeah.
Not a big of a fan. Why not?
It's gooey. I like Snickers, but again, it's the caramel. It's a little more chewy. I'll eat it, but it won't be my first choice.
Got it. All right. So, what's the next one here? This one. Okay. So these to me, Milk Duds, That's like if you're going to a movie, or back in the day, you're going to a baseball game. But what about you? You get a box of those. They're usually about that big.
Man, it's been a long time since I've had Milk Duds. I'm trying to remember.
I'm giving these away personally. I don't like them.
I'll probably, because I don't know what they are, I'd probably put last one on those. And then if I don't like them, then I'll give them to my brother.
Okay. What is it? Milk Duds make me so mad to eat. I'm angry that I'm eating these. All right. Oh, here you go. These will be in every bag, and not in a few of them. Smarties.
Smarties, A.
Really? Okay. What's the difference between them and Necco?
Sorry, no. S.
Smarties?
Yeah, I like Smarties.
No. Okay. Well, it's your list. You can make wrong choices. I think that's too high, but that's all right. All right. Let's give a dollar store candy. These are the marshmallow covered with. Are these paydays? I think that's a payday, right? It's either that or. Huh?
Did you say marshmallow color?
They're peanuts covered marshmallow. They're like peanut covered marshmallow bars.
But they have marshmallow in them.
Yeah.
I'm throwing those away in the trash immediately.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
What about Almond Joy?
Trash right next to the marshmallows.
I would be trading those away because there's the coconut one, and the coconut Almond Joy is not good.
Wait, is that the coconut one?
I think that is the coconut one.
I'm assuming it is, because that's going in the That's not even going in my garbage can. I'm throwing it across the street outside.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
In anger.
Okay. All right. Let's do a good one again. How about Kit Kat?
Kit Kat is A. You know what? No, Kit Kat goes to the top.
Really?
Oh yeah, I like Kit Kat.
That's another good one to put in the freezer.
You can snap them, have individual ones so it lasts longer.
You don't want to do the meme where you just bite it across the whole thing on the top and just.
Nah, I've always snapped them off one by one.
All right, so we got a yes on that one, a very good on that one. Almonds bring joy, absolutely no joy. All right, how about Tootsie Rolls?
As a kid, I used to kind of like them. Now I hate them. Too chewy. I'm throwing them out.
Throwing them out. Okay.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, those probably were A tier for sure. And now they're just like, what are in these things? This is kind of gross.
As a kid, I used to get lots of Tootsie Rolls and I'd eat them all. But I haven't had one in years, but I'm like, I don't like them anymore. They're just too chewy.
Ew, they're so bad. I love them. Tootsie Rolls are so boring. All right. This one is my wife's favorite. Twizzlers.
I used to like Twizzlers, but I'm not big on fruit candy. Not that it's fruit, because it really isn't, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I would probably give that to my brother.
Wow. Okay. That's
not a fan. Sorry.
They are. I'd probably put them around A or B, like somewhere in there.
As a kid, I would have, but I've grown out. I've grown to not like them so much anymore. I mean, if someone handed me one, I'd probably eat it, but that's not my favorite.
We got it again. And here we go. Again, they're meh. They're so meh. Again, a very boring candy. I've never thought of candy as boring. All right, here we go. You got this in the bag. These commercials back in the day were just the best. Butterfingers.
Butterfingers.
Bart Simpson was, you better not lay a finger on my Butterfinger. And he was like there. That's how they advertised it back in the 80s and 90s.
I'd probably do that last one, to be honest.
Like last gone, you'd keep it, but you wouldn't eat it right away?
Right.
Yeah, those are. I love Butterfingers, but they're messy to eat. Those better be up top or else. I haven't had one of those in forever, And then, wow, apparently you there. You made the wrong choice with her, and then you made the right choice with Rory there.
Can't win them all.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm gonna just be quiet and put the Reese's Pieces here. Where are they going?
They're going up top.
Like A or S?
Way up.
All right. We are totally locked in, you and me, on Reese's. I love anything with Reese's. They're all S tier for me.
Oh yeah. I get those usually for Christmas. I'm given the Reese's mini peanut butter cups, which for some reason taste better than the regular ones. And I go through them, really fast. So that in the at Easter they have the peanut butter egg ones. Those are fantastic. I love those things. Those they're not on here, I don't think, but they are definitely. There needs to be a tier above S, and that would be. They would never make it to the bag. I would just eat them as they're giving them to me. Let's put it that way.
So the Reese's are. You get Reese's and Smarties for Christmas, or cups are better than the pieces, but still good. I am there. Reese's. They were putting out, and you can't find them anymore, the mini peanut butter cups that had mini Reese's Pieces in them.
Yeah, I never had them, but I remember when they advertised them.
Oh man, I bought like a ton of those.
Like if I was going to go to a movie and I had to choose what candy, the Reese's Pieces were always there. I was grabbing that box, and by the time I was done, I felt a little sick to my stomach, but it was worth it. But that's for that type of candy. Reese's is always what I gravitate to.
Oh yeah. Oh, apparently. Oh, those were bussin'. Thank you for the Gen Z-ism there. All right, let's just do like that. There's a lot more, so let's do 3 more. If you guys can in the chat see what they are, you can throw one out there, or if there's one that you want Ken to rate, throw it in the chat, and I will ask him. But I'm gonna do M&Ms. I don't know why we haven't done M&Ms yet. Where are they going?
That's going up top. S.
I'm not a big fan of M&Ms anymore.
No?
They've when I was a kid, oh man.
I like the peanut butter ones the best. But I'll take any M&Ms. But yeah, I like those peanut butter ones that are fatter than the other ones. I like them the best. That's another thing I would, if that's available at the theater, that I would grab a bag of those and chomp on them the whole time. So
since we're doing M&Ms, where do the M&Ms with the almonds in the middle, the where peanuts in the middle go?
Oh, they do have that.
Yeah,
that's going up top. S.
All M&Ms. Okay. Yeah, if I had to choose between M&Ms and Reese's Pieces, I'm doing the Reese's Pieces.
Oh yeah, me too. But I still. They're all in that category for me. I'll do a mixture at the same time.
Oh yeah, one whole bowl. All right, so I'm just seeing if any of the if on our chat has said what candy we should rate here. Nerds. I see Nerds. Where is Nerds here? Here. Okay. Where are Nerds for you? You get a little box of Nerds in your sack.
Nerds for me is probably going to be given to my brother. I used to like Nerds, but not anymore.
Okay, we got Heath bars.
Heath bars.
Heath bar. I like a good Heath bar, especially when you break them up in a.
I think that'll be B for me. Where it is.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? Really good in cookies. What about? Okay. About? Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, I agree with that.
How about Skittles? Where are we putting Skittles? Those are big.
Ugh, throw them out.
What?
I don't like them.
Don't tell my wife that.
Too late.
Oh man.
I used to like Skittles, but again, usually anything that's fruity, I'm not really a fan of for candy. Fruity type of candy. I've gotten away from that stuff. I just don't like it anymore. tastes have changed or something. So as a 5-year-old, a 10-year-old, I would love Skittles, but not anymore. Sorry.
Kelly agrees. Skittles are trash. Peaceful is upset with you. That's my wife. And then Rory says, you're crazy for that.
I'm sorry. I don't know what to say.
Wow. So I didn't think I didn't think that Skittles would make a controversy. I knew the candy corn would. But okay, wow.
You love it or you hate it. That's all there is to it.
I think we'll call it there. I think that's good. Oh wait, let's finish proper. Let's do these two. Hershey's and Hershey's Kisses. Where are they going? And then we'll be done after these two.
They're going in A.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, the Kisses can go in S, and then the other Hershey can stay in A. Yeah. So I ended up with more in S than I thought I would, to be honest.
Well, I agree with most of your S tier.
Except for the candy corn.
Yeah, candy corn and Smarties would not be there. If I was a kid, M&Ms would still be there. Hershey's Kisses are a solid one. I'd probably put those down in A, but that I don't hate that for that.
Yeah.
Snickers would probably be S tier for me. Twizzlers would be definitely an A tier for me. And then like the old people candy, like Werther's would be down on Give It to Your Brother, but that's where I'm at. So Swedish Fish, okay, we'll do Swedish Fish. Do we have Swedish Fish in here? Someone wants to know where we put Swedish Fish. Where do you put Swedish Fish, Ken?
I think I'm giving that to my brother.
Giving that to your brother. Wow. Okay. We got, Swedish Fish. They wanted that one. Big S tier on that one. The fish are good. Oh, you just got one word on that one. Wrong.
That wasn't a popular choice, I guess, but not big on that stuff.
No, yeah. So I learned growing up that if you leave Hershey's Kisses next to Irish Spring, the soap, for like a week, the Hershey Kiss will taste like Irish Spring.
Huh. Will the Irish Spring taste like Hershey Kisses?
I never tried. Never tried.
Somebody will have to try that.
So what I did was, because I was a middle school boy, when my friends would sleep over, I'd have candy and I'd mix in it the Irish Spring Hershey Kisses, and then they'd get a piece of soap candy.
That's a good idea.
And then they'd be like, ugh! They're like, oh man, that was a piece of soap candy. And then it became a game of like Risk. You're just like, am I just, you pop it in real fast. It hits the tongue before it hits the nose.
Yeah.
Get a nice piece of Hershey Kisses that taste like soap. Irish Spring, specifically the green bar.
Spring, yeah.
Oh man. Well, we could put a pin in this one. That we will do more tier lists. I'm gonna have to do tier lists with Ken. That might be a segment. Forward.
I like that.
Or maybe if you find one, we could do that. I think that was just a lot of fun. Now we're going to. What is this? Is that like roulette? Oh yes. Ew. Why did you do that to them? It's just fun. And then, is that like roulette Skittles? Yes.
Skittles.
I love you for that. Thank you, Kelly.
All right. So we're going to go through a very, very important list for you Halloweeners since this coming, I guess next week. We've already had some Halloween stuff going on. I know our church did something last Sunday night. And so Halloween is kind of like stretched out into more like a couple of weeks rather than just on October 31st, like everything else has. So with that in mind, we're going to go through some do's and don'ts. And we're going to see what's important to do and what's important not to do, apparently on Halloween. So the first one is do Stay in groups. Go trick-or-treating with friends or family. So don't go with strangers or enemies or things of that nature. That's kind of like a common sense thing, though, I would think.
Yeah. I mean, for a spicy evening, you could go with your enemies and see what happens.
Yeah, we should try that. We should find some enemies and do that.
You
And
go trick or treating with the Burger King crowd you showed me earlier.
Yes, that'd be very interesting. Be visible. Use a flashlight, carry glow sticks, and wear bright or reflective costumes. That's kind of also a no-brainer, especially if it's getting dark out. Although most people today trick or treat before it gets dark. I remember as a kid, we'd go when it was dark. I don't know about you. And we'd actually go to houses. Like, it wasn't like organized. It's like you just went to people's houses and then got home. Your parents would check all your candy to make sure no one was trying to poison you.
Well, we're from the Northeast, and the Northeast, they're not like, they do have residential homes like or developments like we have down here in Florida, but it's like small towns. And so it was a different animal back in the day.
Even where I lived in Allentown, we lived in the city, and then we moved out to more of a country setting before we moved to New Hampshire. But even in the city, we'd go, down the streets and go to eat, different houses and get candy. Getting candy from strangers, which you're not supposed to do normally, I guess. But
the rules are suspended that day.
Yeah. But even back then, when I was a kid, there was, you had to watch out for the sickos putting razor blades and stuff in your candy. It's crazy.
I actually knew a kid that they had a lollipop that was laced with LSD, and he had to go to the hospital.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's one of the reasons why we do more organized, like in communities. Like we go to a gated community. We've gone to where they have like there's a place next town over where they have it's kind of like a tourist trap, but they have a lot of businesses down there, and they all set up stuff. And you go down the road and go around the other side and come back. It's not very long, but it'll take you a couple hours to get through the whole thing, and you'll come home with a giant thing of candy. So the first year we did it, we're like, oh yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll do this place and this place. We never went anywhere else after that. We're like, we were there for, long enough. Like, we don't need any more candy. We had enough, to last a lifetime. But all right. So go to well-lit houses. That's a good idea. Anytime. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Again, check all treats. That's definitely a thing that you got to do. Decorate safely, use battery operated lights instead of candles and jack-o'-lanterns, and avoid using highly flammable decorations. That takes all the fun out of it, though. I guess that means you can't have burning Christmas trees at Halloween outside. Definitely not inside. Supervise activities, never let children carve pumpkins unsupervised, and keep pets away from the door. That is the do's.
Okay. Solid.
Don't go alone. Never go trick-or-treating by yourself. What kid goes alone? And if you're an adult going alone, that's weird that you're an adult going by yourself. If you're an adult, you should be going with kids. Don't eat any candy right away. Well, that's what happens when I get Reese's. Wait for an adult to check all treats before eating any.
If your dad or your mom are with you, can't you just say, hey, look at my peanut butter cups, mom or dad?
Yeah, I mean, how are they going to know? I mean, unless they have an x-ray machine, they may not be able to tell. That's another thing. We used to be able to take them, to take your candy somewhere where they would x-ray your candy. So they'd fill it full of radiation, then you eat it. So it's radiated candy. Don't eat unwrapped candy. Don't eat unwrapped candy. Isn't that how you're supposed to eat it? You leave the wrap. You're supposed to leave the wrapper on when you eat it. That's what that means. Don't enter homes, because then you'll get arrested for breaking and entering. Don't run or dart. Don't assume the right of way. That's like you're driving, I guess. Be aware that drivers may not see you. Oh, okay, so if you're walking, don't run out in front of a car because they might not see you. That's kind of common sense. Again, don't use open flames. I disagree with that. I think you should use lots of open flames. And don't approach strange dogs. I definitely agree with that one. Nothing more scary than, especially if you're wearing a mask. It's like, that's not a good combination around a strange dog. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got on that. So let me.
I mean, that's helpful for I guess for parents, right? It seems
for somebody helpful. Oh, my media assets.
Who published that? Who published that?
I don't remember. I just found it on Google. I think AI. No, it was AI actually that did it.
Nice.
So we got crazy stuff going on behind me. Okay, so the moment we've all been waiting for.
Oh, here we go.
Your review of your now favorite movie this week.
Oh. So for the people who might be wondering, I purposely dressed like Marty McFly. I put on the jean jacket because it was an 80s review. I teased my hair, but that's not coming through. So Ken had me watch Labyrinth. Wow. This one, there's company coming in because of how good this one is. What? It's all good.
One of my dogs came in.
So I watched Labyrinth with David Bowie. Can I tell you that the music was so bad? The puppets were so creepy, and I don't know what happened in the movie. I don't. It did not make any sense at all.
I think because I saw it too, and I'm like, yeah, some of the Muppets though, I recognize them. They look oddly familiar from some of the ones in Star Wars. I'm just saying. Did you notice that?
Didn't George Lucas have a hand in the film?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Jim Henson was in there.
He was the director.
Yeah, Frank Oz, who worked with Jim Henson, was more involved in Star Wars than Jim Henson. I'm like, some of these characters look oddly familiar. Like maybe a little redressed, but they looked very similar to some of the ones in Star Wars, especially in Return of the Jedi, in Jabba's palace, let me say. But anyway, so did the music get to your head? You just said you love the music so much.
No. In fact, I could. David Bowie, I think I can. Let me do my impression of his singing. It's like that. That's all I can hear. And then he does stuff with his hands.
Apparently, he was a smash like back in the 70s. Now, I also read though that he was popular in Europe, so maybe it was over there he was super popular, not so much here. But because I'm like, how did this guy? I used to hear about him in the 80s, especially. I'm like,
yeah,
how's this? How could someone like that sing like that and be popular? Unless it's a negative popular, like wow, that guy's so bad that everyone has to hear him because he's because he's so bad. I don't get it.
There was a song called Magic Dance.
Yeah.
And it goes like, dance, magic, dance. And he says it like that. And then it's like, jump, magic, jump. And he's dancing around and he's in a leotard.
Mm-hmm.
His big hair. So the hair is out of control. And he's in a leotard. And the leotard leaves nothing to the imagination. I'm just trying to be polite here, everybody. Let me be even more stark. You see the man's package pretty clearly, and I just remember watching and going like, I don't want to see that.
And I'm like, is this supposed to be for kids? I mean, it's like this was what they were putting out for kids in the 80s.
Well, he's at the time of the filming, he's like almost 40 or in his 40s. And he's in the movie with Jennifer Connelly, who was 16 years old. And you have this 40-year-old man in a leotard where everything is showing with a 15, 16-year-old girl. I was like, Wow, that's appropriate. Okay, so here's what I looked up when I looked into this film. It cost them $25 million to make, which is a lot in 1985.
Mm-hmm.
And it only made 12.7 million back in the US.
So for those of you who aren't paying attention, what that means, that's what they brought in, but it cost them 25 million. They only brought in the 12 million. So
they lost money.
Lost money. A lot of money.
I was looking into it. They were even as recently as the 2021, they had optioned a sequel, believe it or not. Now, David Bowie died in 2016, and Jennifer Connelly's in like her late 50s. So how? And Jim Henson, like, he's dead. He's been dead a long time.
Yeah.
I don't even know if Disney will like allow anyone to touch the Muppets or his company. And it was a challenge to watch the film. If I'm honest, it was so bad. It was so cringy. I was texting Ken while we were doing it. The one thing I will say was redeeming about the film was that there was almost no CGI and the puppets were real. And so they used real makeup, real puppets. One of the things that I could not understand for the life of me, and maybe because it was the 1980s, the sets on modern TV, you could tell are plastic and styrofoam and cardboard on a modern TV.
Yeah, I think that's probably why, because, with high definition, which is normal now. Yeah. It wasn't like that. Even a movie screen back then, you're not going to get the high definition you can get on our TVs today. So, there was you could definitely tell, those flaws that pop up that you're not going to see on an older TV, or even, necessarily on a movie screen. I don't know why they would go back and digitally remaster a movie like that, though. It's like you're going to see all the flaws.
And so when you're looking at the sets, and Jennifer is walking, her name was Sarah. So while Sarah's walking through the labyrinth, like if you looked at the sets, it's like somebody took glitter glue and they glittered everything. So they're walking through a whole bunch of like body glitter, which is really weird.
Yeah.
David Bowie has the stereotypical bad British teeth, and the hair was really bad. And then of course there was a dance scene between David Bowie and Jennifer Connelly.
That was weird. It's like, what was the K-pop, for all the horror that was, at least it had an actual story, even though it was predictable. It was still a storyline. This one was like, what is going on here?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you the whole plot of that film. Other than she's a selfish teenage girl. She makes a wish that she wishes that her little brother was stolen by goblins. And then it happens. And you're like, wow, you're a terrible person. And this terrible thing happens. And I don't even know how to put words to it. If you want just some honest opinions, don't watch this with your children. Don't watch this with sensitive people, because, when you have young kids and you see a baby just crying, and that baby wasn't like fake crying. That baby in the movie was legitimately hard crying in some of the scenes.
If I was that baby in that movie with David Bowie, I'd be crying too. Just saying.
And it was just terrifying. David Bowie did a beautiful duet with Bing Crosby, and it's been in my head all day. I'm sorry to hear that Bing Crosby partnered with David Bowie.
I wonder if they had the 80s hair going on.
Bing Crosby, an American hero. David Bowie, Britain should have never let him out, okay? American treasure, Bing Crosby. If you're thinking, what's a good family film? Well, not Labyrinth, okay?
Not Labyrinth. So you're trying to tell me you didn't like the movie?
No, you know what? Did not enjoy it. Would not recommend it. If we again, out of the films that we're tiering right now, if I was to make a tier list of the films, I need to watch. I need to watch. K-pop Demon Hunters. When I get Netflix, we'll have to do that, and then see how it is. I can tell you, having compared the music, K-pop's music was so much better than David Bowie. David Bowie music is it's just weird.
Yeah. That was his style though too, but it's like I said before, I don't know why it was popular or who specifically. I know it was popular overseas, but I don't remember him ever being like a superstar. Like we had Madonna, Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah.
You had those types of names. Man, I'm having a brain cramp right now, but that group, Michael Jackson, of course.
Oh yeah.
But David Bowie was, I don't remember him being like at that level, even in the 80s. You heard of him, but never saw him at that level. So I'm thinking his stuff was more overseas and back in the 70s that he was like the superstar, supposedly.
Maybe we're both just too young for him. Oh, here we go. Kelly says, "Why is David Bowie wearing gray leggings? It's giving creepy." Yes,
that's
creepy
a good one.
Excellent word for it. Yeah, it was just weird. I don't know how to put it. I'm glad. Oh, you got a visitor over your shoulder there.
No. Star Wars.
80s movies. But yeah, that I don't recommend. Sorry, guys, do not recommend. If you want to have a nice trick to play on your friend, great trick. Let me tell you something I found out about the movie. And I was live texting Ken so he could hear my thoughts. I put it on for a little while, 1.5 speed. And you know what, Ken? I couldn't tell the difference. I could not tell the difference. And then I told Ken I put it up to 1.5. He said, no cheating. So I then put it back down to one just straight regular speed. And then let me tell you, the last 45 minutes of the film were some of the longest television I have ever watched.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah, it was brutal. I watched it for the fun of it. Because I wanted to see what I was getting you into. And my wife has seen it. She saw it as a kid. She watched it again on purpose as an adult. And then she was watching with me. And at one point I turned to her, I'm like, you watched this on purpose? As an adult, it's like, why? I don't get it. But yeah, I mean, there was definitely the 80s nostalgia to it. Did you know that there's actually a cult following of that movie now?
Oh yeah, I was looking into it.
Yeah, crazy.
It's done better after release than it did at release.
Yeah, I again don't know why, but for some reason, and I don't know how long that started. If it started after David Bowie's death, or if it was kind of built up over time. But I think it's more of because there's so much 80s in that movie.
Oh, for sure.
It's people of that era that are just hanging on to the 80s nostalgia, because the movie itself was terrible.
Garbage.
So do you have a movie for me at this point?
You're gonna love it. It's very seasonally, sort of holiday appropriate.
Oh, good.
On Amazon Prime right now is streaming one of the best Broadway musicals that you have ever seen. And for you, Ken, this week, I want you to watch Wicked on Amazon Prime. It came out this summer. It's based off of the book, and somehow they made it even worse. So you get to, and you should make it romantic. I watched Labyrinth with my wife. It was sure an hour plus of our time. I think that because my wife took one for the team, I think this time your wife should also join you.
I agree.
And she says it's so dumb, and oh no.
Okay, so if she says it's so dumb, that means she's watched it. Why would you?
Oh, I don't know. No, she did watch it.
Doesn't surprise me.
Wow. Okay. Well, you get to have a nice romantic time. You two of you should watch it. We watched Labyrinth. It was not even required my wife watched Labyrinth. Oh, look, see. Oh, yes. You're gonna love that. I haven't seen it, but it's totally a quote you movie.
Yeah, I've seen the previews.
I've never watched it, but I've seen the commercials. It's basically a fan fiction of The Wizard of Oz, except worse.
That's usually how it works.
So now, just so y'all know, Ken and I are not trying to escalate here on who can make the other one.
What? Yeah. Your nose is growing for some reason.
I'm not trying to escalate here. Actually, I've also picked Ken because I wanted to treat you well for a little bit. I also saw that The Martian is on the service. So what we should also try to do this week is both of us this week should watch The Martian so we can actually review a movie that might be worth our time. So watch Wicked. Tell me how that is. And by the way, that's part one. It's not the whole film. It's only half of the film. Somehow they took a 2-hour Broadway show and they're expanding it into like a 2.5 hour movies.
Oh, I can't wait.
So at some point we're going to have to review the second part. But, when I was in high school, Wicked came out. And because I grew up like 2 hours outside of New York City, I was involved with music. Our band directors and our choir directors were taking kids to go see that movie every year in New York. That Broadway show in New York City every year. It was sure a choice. I don't know what parents were thinking. Like, hey, let's take our kids to Broadway to watch Wicked. But anyway, so that's the movie. You two enjoy it. And then if you get the chance, we should both watch. I'm saying a movie that's actually very fun. Watch The Martian. And
who's in The Martian?
I want to say one of the last great actors, and it's silly to say, but Matt Damon.
Okay, I know the movie.
And if that's not on the services you have, I'll say my number 2 choice, if you can't find it, would be The Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise.
Oh yeah, I'll watch because I've seen them both. I'll watch either one again. Now The Martian, I haven't. The Edge of Tomorrow I saw more recently last summer, but The Martian I haven't seen in years. But I'll definitely, I should be able to get that.
I think it's on one of the streaming services you have. But
I'll find it.
If that's not available, we'll do the other one. But then we'll both watch that, and we'll come back next week. I can tell you that I have read the book of The Martian. Fantastic. They actually do a really good job on it. So yeah. The challenge movie is Wicked. Have fun. But The Martian, we'll both watch that. And this, so everyone knows, we're going to have a conversation about the same time at 9 on next Friday. I know we've moved from Thursday to Friday and back and forth. Just obligations do this. Ken and I want to just chat and have you chat with us. But yeah, I'm getting told that it's on Netflix, The Martian. So there you go.
Yeah. I know I've seen it recently on there. I saw I didn't see the movie, but I saw the thing on somewhere. So that sounds about right. But
and Stacy said Edge of Tomorrow is excellent. It is, Stacy. It is really good.
Yeah,
and New England said
just for the fun.
Yeah, and New England, definitely watch it with them. The Martian is an excellent film. It's I would call it a popcorn eater. It's like what you're watching, you're like, wow, this is great. And you keep looking at Tom Cruise's best performance was the interview as Ben Stiller as Tom Cruise.
Was his interview as Ben Stiller as Tom Cruise? Huh. I have not seen that.
I'd have to look into it. Tom Cruise, actually a really good actor. You know,
He does a lot of his own stunts.
and he's pushing 60.
Yeah. In fact, real quick, I'll do this and then we'll go on to our last segment. But the last Mission Impossible, well, one of the last ones, because there's a new one out that I haven't seen.
Yeah.
The one before that, which is part one of this one that I haven't seen, he does this thing where he launches a motorcycle up off a cliff and then hang glides down or parachutes down. And you think this has got to be CGI. There's no way someone's crazy enough to do something like that. He actually did it.
Yeah.
Not just once, but he did 6 times in order to get that take. And the only thing you don't see in the movie is you don't see the ramp they built. It looks like he's just going over the rocks and then launches, but off this cliff. But they built like this ramp and then they like CGI'd it out. And then you just see him right up and then lets go of the bike, pulls the cord, and then comes down. It's crazy. So I watched this whole thing on the different stunts he's done. And there was another one where he was on the outside of an airplane.
Yeah, that's the one I heard about.
That was real. So it's like, that's insane. And I don't understand because most actors, they won't let you do that. But I guess he must be producing these things. So he decides what he wants to do. But like normally they're not going to let the actors do something like that. And then something happens to them, then they can't finish the movie. So, that's incredible. He's a little wacko in the head about some of the things he thinks about. I think he's a Scientologist.
Yeah.
But
isn't he like their Pope now or something?
Yeah, something like that. But when it comes to his acting stuff and his stunt stuff,
he's a really good actor. I was just looking into it. I know he has to wear height shoes because he's only 5'7". Did you know that? He's not that tall.
I knew he was short. Yeah.
I actually knew a pastor who he was like in chosen people's ministries. They reach out and they evangelize Jewish folks. And he was on a plane ride and he had Tom Cruise sit next to him, except he didn't know who he was. And so they just, he's just a missionary to Jewish folks. And so he's on a plane and he's a missionary. So what's he do? He starts talking about Jesus. And he was telling me that Tom Cruise, he didn't know it at the time, but he found out later because the person, when the flight attendants, the stewardesses, if you want to use less politically correct language, said, "You know who that is, right?" They're like, "No, I have no idea." He's like, "That's Tom Cruise." And he was like, "Who's that?" He gets off. He gets off. So he shared the gospel with Tom Cruise for like 2 hours, and they were just chatting. Wow. And then he gets off the plane. The flight attendant says, "That's Tom Cruise." He tells his kids, and his kids, their jaws like hit the floor. They're like, "You sat next to Tom Cruise on a plane?" And he didn't even know it, but he was just sharing about Jesus. And apparently, according to him, he actually knows the Bible, believe it or not. Like pretty big. Who's another one who knows the scriptures really well, but knows where he stands on it? Is Brad Pitt.
Really?
Brad Pitt was raised Southern Baptist or something like that. Yeah. So his parents were like real like Christian folks, and he, it's Hollywood. But Tom Cruise, he's a solid actor. Matt Damon, but that old generation, that's they're aging out. Yeah.
I mean, he can only do so many more of those movies, and it's like Mission Impossible movies. And I love those movies. I love them, but
they're good.
I realized the last one I saw, I'm like, I believe that from the time that one was made to the first one that he did is like a 30-year span. I believe is what it was. I'm like, he's been doing this a long time. But yeah, he's getting up there. If he's in his 60s, he's not going to be able to keep going, doing that much longer, I wouldn't think. So
here you go. Peaceful says, dun, 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 dun. I do that all the time. I'll run around the house with the little ones, and I'll start saying the theme for Mission Impossible. They have no idea what it is, but I do. It's really funny. Who else is one? When you think about actors, and we should move into our next segment in a second here. Who is the new great movie actors like you had with Tom Cruise, Matt Damon, And on the ladies' side, who was it? Meg Ryan or Nicole Kidman? There we go, Tom Cruise. Who are the great actors today? Like that, they're like, hey, Tom Hanks. Who's the person, the new generation that you're like, oh yeah, you see their movies? I can't think of anyone.
No, it seems like today a lot of movies are just rehashing what's already been done or trying to do sequels on what's already been done. And you don't see a lot of originality today. I don't think anyway.
Somebody saying Sandra Bullock is another one of the great stars back in the day. Yeah. I can't think of a big actor that's like, I guess Chris Pratt, right? Chris Pratt's like I'll generally trust what he's putting out and want to go see what he's in.
I think for me, part of the problem is, like back when I was a teenager, even early 20s, I knew every movie that was out. And I knew all the people. And I don't watch that many movies anymore. So I don't even know what's out there anymore. But it just seems like whatever I see advertised, it's like, that's just a rehash. This is, Superman 92 is out, and all these things that have already been done to death. And there's not a whole lot of stuff that's coming out that's original and fresh and just, exciting to see. No one's taking any chances anymore. It just seems like we're redoing the same stuff that's already been done over and over again. So,
what was it? Strondy saying Adam Driver. Isn't that the guy who played in the sequel trilogy, the Ray trilogy? Adam Driver. I don't know who that is.
I don't know. The name sounds familiar.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Isn't that the guy who played
remake?
Adam Driver. Let's see. Why is the first shot? I look him up. I have him on my screen here. The first thing, Adam Driver played what's his name in the Ray saga? He was Han Solo's son. What was his name? That's how much I love that movie, right? You're the Star Wars guy. What was the name of Han Solo's son?
Oh, Ben Solo.
Yeah. So what was his
Kylo Ren.
Yeah, he played Kylo Ren. Adam Driver. Wow.
Oh, yes. Yeah, bingo. It's too late at night. That's why I'm not. Yeah, I should have. I just saw something about he was trying to write a sequel to his character in Star Wars, and Disney rejected it. They weren't taking like this article about it. I've seen that a couple of times. He was trying to do like a segment on. I think it was Kylo Ren. They just bring him back to life, like they've done, which is kind of ironic because they've done it to every other Star Wars character that died. Originally, they brought him back to life.
Yeah.
But they won't do it to him. But I'm glad that they're not, because I don't like that character. But yeah, he's done other things too. So yeah, he's a name right now that's out there.
Yeah, he didn't register to me at all. I'm in New England saying Leonardo DiCaprio. I would put him more like the generation with Matt Damon, though. He's not. He's
getting older.
There's not
with a new movie, but it's some rated R weird movie. I don't know what it's about, but he's done some good movies. Of course, Titanic was huge, but there was one about dreams that he did. I can't remember.
Inception.
Yes, that's a good movie.
That's a great film. We just watched that, my wife and I want to say like a month ago. But see, there you go, Inception.
There's another one about an island. What's the name of it? I can't remember. It's something Island. And
not Love Island. No one knows that is.
No. It was a good movie. I cannot remember what it is.
In New England, Catch Me If You Can was an excellent film.
Yeah, that was good.
She's saying, "Oh, you're right, Shutter Island."
Shutter Island. Yeah. Have you ever seen that? I won't give it away. You need to watch it. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
We'll have to do that in the future.
Okay.
Shutter Island.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll put that on the list. It's not spooky, right? I don't do.
it's not. It's one of those where you're like, at the end, you're like, oh wow, I didn't see that coming. So no, it's a good movie though. It is.
Okay,
It's
well,
not,
put that on the list.
creepy or anything.
Yeah, Inception was good, but yeah, we'll put a pin on here. What does it say? I love Matt Damon movies that are spy movies. That's the Bourne trilogy, right?
Oh yeah, the Bourne trilogy. That's a good series. Yeah.
But yeah, there are no. I mean, maybe I'm being too declarative here. I don't think there's a modern TV star or movie star that is like the equivalent of Tom Cruise or Matt Damon, except maybe Chris Pratt. And
yeah.
I can't. If there is a woman one, I don't know who she is. No one sticks out. There is no like everyone has to see this movie anymore. At least there hasn't been since Endgame. I think Endgame was the last movie everyone saw.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's not true. Based on Netflix's stats, everyone saw K-pop Demon Hunters. So Ken, you're one of the many special few that have seen it.
I'm in there. I'm on top of things, I guess.
You're relevant.
I'm relevant. Yes, I'm relevant. I'd rather not be seeing that, but yeah. All right, so we're going to come into our last segment and talk about a book. And I was going to have it ready, and I totally forgot. It's called The Case for Christ. And it was written by a man named Lee Strobel. And this was done years ago. Now, there's a movie out, The Case for Christ, which is based on the storyline and what happens. But he was an investigative reporter, like a forensic guy. He would investigate crimes and stuff like that and report on them. And his wife became a Christian. He was an atheist, and so he set out to prove or disprove Christianity. That was his goal. And so he spent years doing research and flying around the country and to other places and talking to experts, and with the idea of proving to his wife that Christianity was fake and had no proof, had nothing to back it up. And at the end of the day, he ended up becoming a Christian because of the overwhelming evidence that he found. So it's interesting because somebody who was so against the things of God, who said there was no proof, comes out and has to admit in the end that there's overwhelming evidence for God, for Jesus specifically, that Jesus lived. Not only he lived because history records that he lived. And the big dispute about Jesus is not that whether he existed or not, but is whether he is God. Although I did see one time on back when Larry King was alive, he used to interview religious people every now and then. He would have pastors or different people of different religions. And one night he had this group, like 4 different people. One of them was John MacArthur. One of them was a Jewish guy. One of them was an atheist. And I don't remember who the other guy was. But the atheist woman, she's like, well, there's no proof that Jesus ever existed. And I was thinking to myself, you need to go back to the children's table and let the adults speak, because you're in a totally different league. Everybody knows Jesus existed. Whether you believe that he was God or not is not the question. Everyone knows he existed. So it was kind of funny in a way. But the question is, was he God? Did he die on the cross? Did he rise from the dead? And all this is explained in this book, and it's just a really good book. Now, the movie will touch it. The movie kind of skims over everything, gives you the story, gives you some highlights, but the book is so much better. It goes so much deeper. It is kind of a deep read, but I think it's worth it for a Christian to read, because I won't retain all that information, but I have a better understanding, and I can always go back and reference things in that book to see, well, here's what this guy found. Here's what this guy with this doctorate found, and what he knows. And it's really interesting, being that Lee Strobel was a forensic investigator, and that's how he approached this investigation. And so he used well-established means to look this up. Again, his intention was not to prove that Jesus was real and authentic. His intention was to disprove Jesus, and he was not able to do that. In fact, the opposite happened. So it's kind of like God's sense of humor. But yeah, I don't know. Have you? You said you haven't read the book, or you've seen parts. You've read parts of it.
I when I switched you to main screen there, I went to go see if I had it on my shelf, and I couldn't find it. But I have piecemealed through it.
Where it is, I'm gonna grab it right here.
Yeah, I have piecemealed through it. I just don't know where it is at the moment. But let me put Ken's got it. Let me put it back on here. There you are.
Right here. That's backwards. Is that showing up backwards in here?
It's coming through for me the right way.
That's so weird.
It's just it's mirroring to you. But yeah, so I have pieced through it. I've heard more about his story.
Yeah.
He's a phenomenal speaker and an evangelist. I get him confused with Josh McDowell sometimes.
Okay. Yeah. They have similar stories in that department.
Yeah, so when I went over to my bookshelves are over there. When I went there, I grabbed his stuff, so I put it back down because I got them confused. But they, his story of investigating and just honestly looking at the facts of the gospel, they are. It's just how many people are willing to do that, you know? And we were talking about famous actors a few minutes ago. There was even recently, like Matthew McConaughey was seen reading A Case for Christ by Lee Strobel. That's how spread out his arguments and his thought are, because people want to look at. I think wasn't Lee Strobel trained as an attorney who then became a journalist? There is a way, if you investigate the truths of the scripture, you're going to find that they are just add up if you're honest about it.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting. I pulled up a verse, 2 Timothy 3:16 and 17 says, all scripture is God breathed out by God. All scripture is breathed out by God and profitable for teaching, for reproof, for correction, and for training in righteousness, that the man of God may be complete, equipped for every good work. So really, talking about the Bible, and he talks about the Bible in there too, obviously, but I've had this argument. I've used this argument against people like Mormons and Jehovah's Witnesses, to where their entire foundation of faith is based on the word of one person who, in both cases, has a very sketchy reputation. Very sketchy. Charles Taze Russell started the Jehovah's Witnesses. He was proven in a court of law to be a liar. That's public record. For $25, you can buy the transcript. And then, of course, Joseph Smith started the Mormons. He was a well-known con man. And Dave, you were talking to me about this one time where you grew up. You said you grew up in the area that he lived.
Yeah, there were he was from, I think, Palmyra, New York, and that was like an hour and a half away. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And he had a reputation of being a con man. So it's like, and again, though, it's like, so the Book of Mormon, written by this one guy with no evidence where it came from, supposedly from these golden tablets, which no one's ever seen.
Yep.
So where's your documentation? The Bible has over 24,000 manuscripts historical manuscripts to authenticate it. So, and I've used that argument, and it's like, you would think it would click, right? But it doesn't a lot of times. For some people like Lee Strobel, God used that whole situation to bring him to him, and Josh McDowell and other people. And for some people, they don't want to believe it. They don't want to listen to the truth. And even I had this conversation with a Jehovah's Witness where I brought up these facts about, and again, this is not my opinion about Charles Taze Russell. This was in court. This was proven. He was lying about everything he said about how he translated the Bible, blah, blah, blah. He can't translate the Bible. And so I said to this woman that came to our door, I said this to her, and she said to me, that doesn't matter. And I was just like, I'm like, it doesn't matter? I said, if I found out Jesus was a liar, I wouldn't follow him anymore. On Sunday mornings, I'd go golfing. Why would I go to church? You know,
Seriously.
that just blew me away, though. Like the total blindness. Like, it doesn't matter that our leader was a known liar, which basically collapses our entire religion. You know, but that's the mentality of some of these people, and it's scary that you can be that, you know, blind to the truth. So it's funny though, because people will say, well, Christians, you're just blindly following your faith. And the funny thing is that God gave us so much evidence, and everything he gave us, there's a whole pile of evidence to go with it. Talking about Jesus coming, the Old Testament, everything that happened in the Old Testament led to Christ. You look at the life of the biblical figure Joseph in the Bible, his entire life foreshadowed. It was like a mirror of what was to come. You know, a lot of similarities in his life to the coming of Christ and everything that happened. And it's interesting because we're studying that in our men's Bible study right now. But God used all that, you know, to point to what was to come. There was so much evidence there, and all these other beliefs have like nothing to back them up. But people will run to them while they're running away from the truth. And so, yeah, it's Romans chapter 1, verses 20, verses 19 and 20. For what can be known about God is plain to them, because God has shown it to them. For his invisible attributes, namely his eternal power and divine nature, have been clearly perceived ever since the creation of the world and the things that have been made, so that they are without excuse.
That's right.
So God has given us all this evidence. So we don't have an excuse to say, well, I just didn't know. I had no way of knowing. You know, God has given us overwhelming evidence. Yeah. So I think a book like this is great to. I'm glad people like Matthew McConaughey are reading it, and hopefully others that need to see this, and hopefully God will use that to reach them. You know, and God clearly used Lee Strobel in the way he did, and Josh McDowell in the way he did, and others that are now out there. Of course, Lee Strobel, I don't know if he's still alive or not.
I haven't heard that he passed.
I think he's just really old then. He's probably really old. But
he's 73.
Okay. That's not bad. So, you know, God has used them through the years and others to proclaim his word, and to do it, you know, using apologetics and stuff like that, like we were talking about last week, to show people, hey, you know, this isn't just some blind faith, you know. God could have just expected us to have blind faith, but he didn't. He's given us all the evidence we need and more, to where if you reject Christ, you have to purposely reject him, you know?
Yeah. Well, one of the things, Ken, I would say about a resource like this is that different people need different methods to reach to them. Yeah. You know what I mean? Some people, I'm umming a lot because I'm thinking, some people will really appreciate, and they need those more intellectual arguments. Like, look at all the extant copies of the New Testament. Look at how both internally and externally these things add up historically. And some people, that will be what they need to be like, click, this makes sense. And if you are dealing with a person that, and this is how you do apologetics, you have to know who you're talking to, right? There are some people that are emotively driven. And so you need to help and connect the gospel to them emotively. There's some people who are more up here. And so you connect with like that. And there's some people who are more like just work oriented. I really believe that there's head, heart, and hands people. And there's a combinations of thereof. Some people, Ken, you and I are not heart people. If you're going to try to emotively connect to us, we're going to just look, we're going to be like, what are you talking about? Yeah. But you know, we're more on the head and the hands, the work side of guys. And so that's how you reach to someone like the two of us. But there are, in the case of like Lee Strobel, there are people who their reasonings against it are intellectual, and you need to help them disarm themselves and remove those barriers, you know?
Get over that stumbling block, you know, it's like in their way. Yeah. No, God definitely uses different ways to reach people. That's for sure.
And like, I think, for example, Like, so one of the biggest stumbling blocks, and I think it's actually dying. Evolution is more of an excuse than it is actually a reason not to believe.
Yeah.
I think even amongst intellectuals, evolution is kind of getting lame. But it's they used it as a force field as opposed to an intellectual reason not to believe.
Right.
I think that you can address different needs for different people. And so when it comes to like resources like that, if you need it, it's a helpful thing to do it. Like, hey, look, did you know, for example, just when you talk about Lee Strobel's book, there are more copies of the New Testament than there are of other books of the same time period. Like, there's more copies of the New Testament than there is of Homer's Iliad and the Odyssey.
Yeah.
And they're more recent to the events of the New Testament as opposed to the Iliad and Odyssey, which were 500-600 years later in their recording.
Right. Yeah,
so,
and that group is like, I think, the next in line as far as how much authenticity, how much manuscripts there are, but it's only like a few hundred.
Yeah.
Versus 24,000, but that's like second place, and then everything else is like way behind that. And like you said, like with the Bible, we have manuscripts that go back within just I think it's like within the first century or the end of the first century. It's not that far away from the actual events versus Homer stuff is like hundreds of years. So it's like, I grew up in school hearing about the Trojan horse and all that stuff. I never knew that it wasn't. I always thought that was a historical event, but there's no proof that ever happened. So it's like, I didn't know that though. But that comes from that, from Homer stuff. But I thought that was interesting. But little side note. But yeah, you're definitely right though. People, there are different methods to reach people, and those stumbling blocks are what we have to get over, whether it's a matter of just self-righteousness or it's an intellectual thing or all that stuff.
What did they used to say? That there's more proof that Jesus existed than Alexander the Great or Julius Caesar. I've even heard some people say George Washington. But the reality is that he's a historical figure, and we have evidence of a historical figure existing from 2,000 years ago that are so overwhelming that for something from that long ago, he has to have been real at this point. And again, we're talking about using different methods. There's more proof of Jesus than almost anyone in history. He being a historical figure, you just have to trust accounts. I mean, what if we all woke up yesterday and everyone was just told George Washington is real? Like, would the bones add up? Do they even still exist? There's pictures. There's pictures of him. There's paintings, I should say, not pictures. How can we prove it? And yet, because of the documents and the records, for some people, that's what they need to hear. I'm one of those people who likes to have many tools in their toolbox when it comes to apologetics. I'm not married to one technique more than the other, but it's really about being sensitive to who you're dealing with. And I think that using evidence for some people is a very powerful tool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been, through the years talking to different people, you kind of learn where they're coming from and where, like, for me, like, I'd have a conversation and at the end I would evaluate my own conversation. Okay, what do I need to learn more about so that next time I have the same situation, I can be even more prepared or deal with this that I didn't expect was going to come up or whatever. So I found, and I'm always praying if I encounter somebody, God help me say the right stuff, because I have a tendency to, in the moment, my brain will freeze up, and everything goes out of it. So some people are not like that. Some people can just, no matter what. But so I rely on God to help me do that. But and He has, and He puts verses and stuff in my head when I need them. But yeah, it's the more you talk to people, the more you learn how to talk to them and what to say and what to learn more about, so you can be better prepared in the future. That's what I found. But
to the person who might be reading this, and Strandi, thank you. That's interesting to hear. You have to remember the New Testament teaches us that God, the Holy Spirit, was sent to bring us a reminder of all things that we know.
mm-hmm.
And so when you're talking to somebody about the faith, the Holy Spirit's sometimes going to kick in the autopilot inside of you, and he's going to help you have the right words. I think Ken is right when you say, like, hey, look, you got to pray up before you get in. It's just true. But the God is, if he's going to, and this is, got to lay my cards theologically on the table. If somebody is going to get saved, they're going to get saved.
Mm-hmm.
There's, in my view and my understanding, you're not rolling the dice. It's just, if it's that day, it's that day, and you are just the vehicle by which it occurs. I really believe that. I don't think it's just like, I hope they get it. It's like, if God pulled the trigger, it's going to happen. And so if that was the day of their salvation, just like it's the day of your birth, that's what's going to happen. So I believe that you learn these things so you can be most used of the Lord at that moment that he has appointed, and it's good. And one thing I'll say about apologetics, and let me think what you think of this, Ken. Apologetics is also reassuring to the Christian. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, the one of the reasons why I read this book was because I want to know some of these answers. I'm the guy where I don't want to say, well, here's what I believe, and then someone, well, why do you believe it? Because that's what I was told. I want to know more than that. I want to know, okay, so where does this really come from, right?
That's awesome, Strandi.
Not just, hey, this is what I believe because I was told, and I don't really know why. I want to know these answers. When we talk about different things, what this is what the Bible means here or there. Sometimes I'll read commentary about it, and I'm like, I don't understand where they're getting that conclusion. I have to keep going and looking and finding more information so that I get it. I'm like, oh, now I understand, right? That's how my mind works. So I want to know the answers, not just because, well, yeah, we know Jesus existed. You want to know why? Well, I really don't know why. I just know this, right? That's not an answer. I want to be able to give more information. How do I know the Bible is accurate? How do I know it's true? Where's the evidence? Because you'll get the person that says, well, the Bible is just written by people and full of myths and stuff like that. It's nice to be able to answer that and give them a more definitive answer. To give a reason why we believe.
Give a reason for hope that is within you is what Peter says. Yeah. Who did Peaceful said this? The Joy FM works for some guys like Ken Ham, and his arguments work for others. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Hey, Strandi, I don't know if you heard me. That's awesome that your wife had a chance to share with a neighbor tonight. That's great. Cool. The Holy Spirit, he is the one by which we're able to do it. That's for sure. It's just, it's so good as to how he does it. And when I was saying like it's reassuring, and you were just hitting out of the park there. When you share the gospel, you reshare it with yourself. Because it gives you the hope. It reminds you of the hope that is within you. And the world is trying to constantly shout down our faith, and the devil wants us to question it ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And the more you look at the documents, look at the truth, remember what he's done, the more you reassure your soul and give the Holy Spirit ammunition to reassure your soul as well. If not what God had done, where would you be? And how he saved you and what he's kept you from and what he's brought you to, because you're not just saved from stuff, you're also saved to stuff.
Right.
You're actually given purpose. And I think actually for me, telling people God's got a point for you. I think that's one of the most powerful evangelism techniques, because so many people don't know what to do with their life.
The Bible says, for everyone that is in Christ is a new creation. Old things pass away, and the new comes. And all this is from God, who reconciled us to himself and gave us the ministry of reconciliation. So he has a purpose for us, right?
Yeah.
And he will use us. It's important. It's not just, okay, I'm saved and now what? God has a reason. God has a purpose for all of us. Definitely. Well, I think now would be a good time to wrap up. I will want to say one thing. I need to figure out how to change your name because I've been wanting to change it to Marty McFly, but I don't know how to do it. I know I have the capability, but I don't know how to do it yet. I'm going to figure that out. Even if you don't tell me, I'm going to figure it out. So,
oh yeah, I mean, yeah, that's hard. Kenneth name changer, or
I will mess with it this week. I'll figure it out. So it can't be that hard. So
it's a lot of fun. I didn't do it as much this time. First of his name. You know, I can. Oh, you know, you want to really be upset with me? I'll just put it like that.
That's not right.
No, you want to go? I'll go one worse.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen it spelled both ways. That's just wrong.
The I is more wrong, I think.
Isn't that like a girl's name with an I?
Don't give me reasons to keep doing it. Don't give me that.
Awesome name? Isn't that an awesome name?
Just change it. Just don't change it to tennis.
Yes, there was a kid. We rode the school bus with, and by the way, Strandy's my brother, one of my brothers.
It.
And he had like a speech impediment or something. He always would call me Tennis. Of course, I'm not going to correct him because of So now my family calls me Tennis, and that's the way it's been ever since for decades. So yeah, I actually would rather be called Tennis than Kenny. But
oh yeah, he loves being called Kenny. Kelly, it's with an I actually. The correct. What is that? That's the European spelling, right?
Where David Bowie came from, so I don't know.
The traditional spelling with the I. Anyway, hey everyone, thank you for watching tonight. Ken, I had a great time. And if you have any, of course, like the stream. If you have any movie recommendations for us to review or apologetics questions, leave them in the comments. And we will see you again this time on Friday next week. If something comes up, we'll share with y'all. Oh, Kenny or Jenny. Oh man. Anyway, y'all have a good night. And Ken, I'll see you soon.
All right.